The simple question that's before you is, do you kill her? That's the question. She has done something very bad. She did. And you have convicted her for that. You have told her that she is guilty of first-degree murder for that. But the question is now, do you kill her? When we talk about mitigation, aggravation, the point of it all is, does she have value? Is there something that you, as an individual person, believe is worth saving her? Is worth her living her life in prison? The prosecutor talked to you about living her life in prison and how there's a possibility that after 25 years, there could be parole. You are not supposed to consider that, and that should not enter into your decision of whether or not to give her life or death. In fact, the last time somebody was paroled was eons ago.
Objection. Improper arguing past that.
Sustained.
The prosecutor wants to tell you that her age doesn't matter, that her lack of criminal history doesn't matter. But those things absolutely do matter. We're not talking about whether or not to convict her. We're talking about whether or not to kill her. And so when we talk about that, it matters that she was 27 years old and that she had no criminal history. It matters that she hadn't done anything wrong in her life before that. It matters when you make that decision to give her life in prison. The prosecutor wants to talk to you about that she has some kind of entitlement feeling. Entitlement, because she's an artist and therefore she's entitled to live. That is absolutely false. There is no entitlement feelings here. It's quite the opposite. It's begging. It's begging for her life at this point. There is no entitlement. The fact that she's a good artist is something that any one of you may feel that it is worth saving her life for, that it is worth keeping her around, because she can provide some type of value to this world. When the prosecutor talks about criminal history, she doesn't have any. And so all he can come up with is the fact that she's lied. We know she's lied. Absolutely she's lied. That's been this whole case. His lies and manipulations. That's been the entire case. But lying is not a capital offense. We're asking you not to sentence her to death because she lied. You have convicted her of first-degree murder. She does not need to be sentenced to death because of the lies. He talked about friendship and the fact that it's not important, that it does not add value, and that these friendships were somehow based on lies, again with the lies. But her friendships were not based on lies. You know, Daryl Brewer and she and Jody had a wonderful relationship for several years. What that shows you is the fact that something happened. Something happened that changed the trajectory of her life, changed what she could have been. The prosecutor wants to talk to you about the lack of support from her family, but yet they're here. So that's not a mitigating factor. Her family was not there for her when she needed them. And it's sad, and it is so hard to say when they sit right here and have to listen to that. But you know what? When she was a teenager and she needed them, they were not there. And you know how we know that? We know it because she has borderline personality disorder. We know because Dr. DeMarte told you that's what happens. Lack of bonding, detached from parents. That little girl needed someone and she didn't have them. And so absolutely they're here now, and thankfully they are. But the fact that it changed the course of her life is important for you to consider. And it is a reason for you to be merciful and give her life in prison. The prosecutor wants to remind you about the one statement that came out in this case, that she liked to play the victim. Jodi has not played the victim. And in fact, you heard during trial that that statement came from a girl who knew her between the ages of 1st grade and 5th grade. That's what he wants to base your decision of life or death on, is from a person who knew her between 1st and 5th grade. Someone who he didn't bring into trial. He wants to tell you that she's doing nothing but the bare minimum in life. That doesn't add value to her life. Because she was doing what all of us do. The point of the fact that she can add value, the fact that she has something to give to this world, is important. The fact that she looks beyond her current situation and has a hope to contribute to this world still is important for you to consider. It is an awful, awful thing that she did. And Travis's family is certainly suffering for it. But your conviction of first-degree murder is why, or is how, they have been, hopefully, get some peace. Your conviction of first-degree murder speaks to what she did. And there's no disputing that at this point. We're not explaining it. It is what it is. The question now before you is, do you kill her? Do you kill her for the one act that she did? The one horrible act? Or can you see that there is a reason to let her live? Can you see that there is still value in her life? Can you see that there is value and love from her family? She won't be living with them. And she won't be living with any of us. But she will be living in prison. And even there, she can contribute to this world. We are asking you to find mercy. To find that these mitigating factors, these reasons to show mercy, to find value in a person's life, and to find that Jodi's life, despite what she has done, is worth saving. We're asking you to give her life in prison. Thank you.